Hi, Serena.
Hi, Emily.
And hey, Autumn.
Hi.
Hey, guys, we have our first ever guest
I'm so excited.
today. We're so excited for this. This is Autumn. She runs the account TS Tour Tips on Instagram. You're probably familiar with her because
Well,
she's
we
everywhere.
repost her about every day.
We repost her all the time. She's insane. She's everywhere, has the best updates. So we're really excited to have her. And the first thing we want to know about you, Autumn, is what song have you been listening to this week?
The song I've been listening to a lot this week is I Did Something Bad, but it's the Reputation tour version of it.
Yep.
I just feel like it gives me chills every single time.
Okay, iconic. Yes.
I feel like when I'm listening to Reputation now, I'm like, she could have written this about Travis. Like, so seriously. Like, it's just like the vibes are the same.
Yeah.
It's
there's
crazy.
so many songs. I feel like people are always like relating the lyrics to her relationship now.
I know.
I'm like, that's
It's kind of crazy. Like how that could just we just switched real quick.
Were you?
I think the funniest thing I saw was like when she sang Endgame at the Eras tour, and people were like, "Oh my god, now this song like finally actually makes sense." Like, big Reputation, okay.
so true.
Yes, because he actually does have a reputation this time.
Her most successful and famous boyfriend, like, finally.
Like, let's be real. Joe Alwyn did not have a big reputation. Like, whatever you think about him, you can like him, you can dislike him, whatever, but there wasn't a big reputation to be had there.
Damn. Were you one of those believers that she was going to sing I Did Something Bad and then announce Rep TV?
I feel like, because I've been thinking about it, I just don't feel as though I Did Something Bad would really work in the same way acoustically as the other surprise songs. I feel like it's kind of hard to do acoustic, especially when she's doing the like, no,
100%.
So I feel like she would have to add it to the set because it just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like, again, the live version that she's done of it, I feel like that's the best one to kind of do it justice.
Yeah, I do agree with you that it doesn't really make sense. And I think so many people were holding on to like she saved the last Speak Now song and then announced kind of thing. But it doesn't, that song doesn't translate live. And we also haven't seen her do the same thing for re-recordings yet. Like everyone has been pretty much pattern. Different. So I'm not expecting it to be the same thing again. Other than like I do think she'll announce it at a show.
Yeah.
But like maybe not in the exact same way, you know? I think we're getting it when she's in Tokyo. An announcement, personally. I've been saying Q1 of this year since we started talking about this.
Yeah.
But anyway, Emily, what song are you listening to?
I have been listening to Come Back Be Here.
Okay, that's a choice. Yeah. A good one.
I've been thinking about my surprise songs a lot. I've just been reminiscing because the last time we recorded an episode for the podcast, I ran out of storage on my phone in the middle of taking a video, and I was like, I think it's time to delete every photo I have. So I like cleared out my Eras tour.
Okay.
It was awful and sad, and I was watching all the videos back. And
yeah. I Come Back Be Here. We went to the same show, so Come Back Be Here was also in my like top 5 surprise songs that I wanted. So I was just really not
it was a shock, but it was a really good one. And
thank you, Phoebe Bridgers.
Thank you so much for that. Phoebe Bridgers requested it, so thanks, Queen.
No, seriously,
that was
thank
a good
you
one.
so much.
What have you been listening to?
I have been listening to Dress. Just in my Reputation vibes. That's where I'm here. I just love that song so much. And I've also been listening to Delicate a lot because podcast listeners know this, but Autumn, you probably don't. So I'm a photographer for work, and I've been creating like styled shoots based around Taylor songs. And I just shot Bejeweled the other day, and I'm doing Delicate. I think not next because I'm going to Nashville and I'm shooting Cowboy Like Me with a couple there, and I'm so excited. But then I'm gonna do Delicate. And so I've been listening to that.
All good songs. Cowboy Like Me and Delicate, top 5.
So good. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah. Alrighty. So we have some questions we're gonna ask Autumn and just have a conversation. So I think we're gonna start with, what do you do for like work or school or like outside of being TS Tourist Tips?
I I went to school for veterinary technology.
Wow.
It's going to be a vet tech, and I had to take a break from doing it just because my endometriosis got really bad, and it just was really impacting my ability to kind of learn and be present, I found. So in the process of trying to do that, but right now I'm just working as a receptionist at a spa, and then I've been very fortunate that running my account is almost like my side gig in a way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Do you make money from doing that? Can I ask your account?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I do have it open so that people can always send in something if they want to get me some fuel for the show nights, or if they want to support me, and also just through working with other brands and things like that. I've been pretty lucky to get opportunities and things like this. Even going to the Eras tour came about as part of running 2S tour tips.
That's amazing.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I had SeatGeek reach out to me, and they normally give out tickets. They were doing it a lot for Love on Tour, and then they wanted to do it for the Eras tour, so they wanted to kick it off with me.
That's
so
amazing.
they're like 2 floor tickets to any Eras tour show of your choice, and I was like, hell yeah! So I ended up picking Kansas City night 1 before we knew
No
what was
way.
going to happen.
That's amazing.
That's like the luckiest pick.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Because
a really
it's
good
like,
choice.
Are you like close to Kansas City? Distance-wise?
My girlfriend lives in St. Louis, so
Okay.
Oh,
I just
okay.
figured it would be like the easiest option, and then obviously it ended up working out for the better. I'm like, out of all the shows we could have picked,
You made a great choice.
Wow.
That was a crazy night, and you got the first night of Long Live.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
I was screaming.
We both went to Philly, and I went to a MetLife show, so we haven't heard Long Live live on the tour.
No.
So sad.
It's like my favorite song. It's fine.
Yeah, I was pretty devastated to see it added, but I'm going to a London show in the summer, so it better still be on the set list.
Did you think before tour started, did you think it was going to be on the set list? It was like a staple, like it had to be.
Well, I figured that there would be more than one song as part of the Speak Now session. I rip on that all the time because I just find it really funny. Even though like debut got the worst of it, they're not even part of the set list at all.
Right.
But I feel like Speak Now has a lot more of a fan base around it, and so that's why I was surprised that there wasn't more. Like I wasn't expecting a ton, but even Fearless got 3.
It's crazy.
I don't know what song I would have envisioned because I knew Enchanted had to be one because that would be a really big one.
I mean, Mine, Mean were like the only like bigger, I guess, songs from that era.
And I wouldn't have expected either of them to be on there, honestly.
Yeah,
but like Long Live just felt like it's such a fan favorite.
It's
right.
I was like,
or
she's gonna close with Long
Fly.
Live. Oh, Sparks Fly, yeah.
Sparks Fly would have been good.
We're really cute, not haters, but we're pretty big Speak Now haters. So we are also
not
just
our
like,
favorite. but of Speak Now, I want to hear Enchanted and Long Live.
That's true.
So
crazy.
Yeah, definitely crazy that it wasn't a part. I was very surprised by that, honestly. But I think the rest of the set list kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whatevs. What's your like Taylor origin story? Like how did you find her? Take us back to the beginning.
I found Taylor in 2006. I was a whole 7 years old, and I heard our song, and I was immediately hooked. I just felt like growing up, I don't think I could have found a better role model to have. I think that she's just so graceful and mature and talented and hardworking. It's just, I don't know, every day I feel like I find more reasons to love and respect her.
We agree.
But yeah, that was kind of how I got sucked in. I remember I have journals where I was trying to budget for the Fearless tour, even though I
Oh.
had no money.
At 7 years
um,
old.
and I didn't end up. The first time I ever saw Taylor, and the first era I got like really deep into was Red. It was the first CD I ever got. I was there for the live stream when she was announcing it. It was the first tour I ever saw her in.
Yeah.
And that's when I got really active. Like, I don't know if you guys remember Taylor Connect, but
Yeah.
I was on that forum like every day.
Yeah.
And so
love
that's kind of when I started getting into more of the fan side of things.
Yeah.
And it's probably the reason why I love Red so much in that era. And it's kind of always been my favorite. I just feel like there's something about it that never gets old.
That's such. I completely agree. Whenever I think about my favorite era, I'm like, it has to be Red. Like that was the era that kind of like truly sucked me in.
I feel like the Red era for me is like the first era I like really like truly remember all of the aspects of. Like I've been a fan since 2006 as well.
True.
But Red came out when I was a sophomore in high school or a junior in high school, so I just like have such vivid memories of it. Like I remember I was driving and like listening to it in my car, and it just like I feel like Red is so, and I feel like a lot of, because we're all probably around the same age, so I feel like our age group, like Red is like the,
Yeah, it's like what
it's the
everyone's
album.
experiencing now. That was kind of like the Red era for us.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way it was like
Yes.
peak Taylor at the time,
and she
was everywhere. Everyone loved her.
Everywhere she was out and about. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, like I know that I would almost say like 1989 and Reputation are more iconic, but I still feel like Red is kind of the best. The only thing that was kind of upsetting about that era was it was really when all these people were like, "Oh, she's gonna write a song about you," and like attacking her for just being a young woman in her 20s dating.
Yeah, true.
So.
And you know, somehow that still hasn't stopped.
No,
Isn't that crazy?
What, like
over a
over
decade
10 years
later, and we're still playing out that sad
It's so
rhetoric.
stupid. It's
so ridiculous.
stupid.
Anyway, so how did you start like helping people navigate Taylor shows and stuff? Like, where did that start?
I started for the 1989 tour, but my account, it was almost like a completely different based idea than what I do now, because for 1989 and Reputation, my whole account was centered around helping people to get into Loft 89 and Rep Room, and also get ticket upgrades. So I wasn't really helping people with the tour side of like getting tickets and it was just more so how to get noticed and outfits and different things to make. And that was really fun. I found that the Rep tour, I think I helped 128 people to get picked for Rep Room.
I wish I knew who you were back then.
That I knew of. But then I kind of went dark for a bit because the Lover Fest was only going to be 4 US shows, and I was like, well, it's not even, you can't really even call it a tour at that point. It's so quick. And then COVID and everything. So it was just kind of wondering when the next tour was going to happen, but I had a feeling around like early 2022 that something was coming. So I started preparing, and I was thinking, well, if I wasn't doing this account and I was someone else, what would I want to see in a tour account? So I was like, I want to help people to get tickets and get through the pre-sales and resale tickets. I want to help people with their outfits, know before you go, accessibility information, finding live streams. And then I wanted to do, I don't know, not to like discount other accounts because I feel like everyone's great, but it's something that I felt like I could do something different was if people are updating on a show, it's only like a handful of different kind of posts. And I wanted to show as much of the show as possible. So I was trying to like have a video of every song on the set list if I can, and it could be kind of overwhelming for people, but I feel like, I don't know, it's a good way of staying connected if you can't watch a live stream.
I was just gonna say, I personally love it because if I'm out and I can't watch a live stream, I know I can just go to your account and I will be still updated, but I can still be present in my actual life.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
because as much as I want to watch every live stream, that's just not realistic.
It's just difficult.
Yeah.
I know. I appreciate your account so much because, like you were saying, you are doing things differently than a lot of different update accounts.
Yeah.
I started a spreadsheet like from day one of tour to keep track of all the outfits she was wearing because I'm an artist and I make like prints for every show and I wanted to like, you know, keep track of all their outfits, whatever. And I was finding it so difficult to like watch every single live stream and do it because nobody was keeping track of it. And I would like get on my Instagram and be like, guys, what Midnight's dress did she wear? Anybody. And they're like, hello, just follow TS Tour Tips. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like scrolling through and you have everything on there. I'm like, Thank you.
Doing the Lord's work.
Literally doing the Lord's work.
Do you think that she'll ever bring back meet and greet, like show meet and greets like we saw at 1989 and Rep?
I think there is a chance. Like we did see the Eras Tour movie premiere that she kind of had invited some fans. I think it's just because of how long and the scale of the show that she's doing that. I mean, the show's already ending at like quarter after 11, and they would be getting out of there so late. And also, I can't imagine how much more exhausting it is to perform a show that's 3.5, almost 4 hours long. So I think that is a big part of it. But I could definitely see it coming back in some way. I don't know that she would do secret sessions again. I feel like there's been too much drama that have come out of that.
We agree.
And also just like trusting people to be in your home. I feel like, especially with all the stalkers now.
And she's just at a different level of fame now than she was the last time she did a secret session.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I don't know. I'm interested how you guys feel about that because I thought 1989, that was going to be like the biggest that she ever was going to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was just even watching Taylor Nation grow. Like during Red TV, I think they were at 1.2 million, and now I think they're almost at 8 million.
Yeah,
which is like, where did these people come from?
Yeah, and Taylor Nation too. Like you're following like the not fan page, but you're following like the.
It's unreal. It feels so fake to me because just for the longest like time period, I just remember it was just not cool to like Taylor Swift. Like it just wasn't. And now it's like, I don't know, she got a hold on Gen Z and it's just like
that could be it. It could be Gen Z. It could be like the chronically online.
I just think
of it
like,
all, you know.
She is pulling in younger fans like now more than ever. Like, which I don't think, and I don't know exactly what did it. I think folklore is definitely a part of it because I think she was one of the only artists that put out new music during the pandemic, like in the beginning of the pandemic. Like a lot of people were holding their music because it was unprecedented. They didn't know what was going to happen. Like I remember Sam Smith was supposed to put an album out and he held it for like almost a year and then dropped it in 2021 instead of in 2020. And I feel like a lot of artists did that. So I think there was something intriguing about, there's somebody that's putting out music. So
and I think a good album and a successful album.
Like one of her best. And I think also just in talking to people that, I think people that fell off like after 1989, because I do think 1989 a little bit, she was, I don't know exactly what the word I'm looking for is, but she was just everywhere. And I think people got annoyed with that a little bit. So I think some people fell off and I think folklore brought them back because even though it's very different than Fearless and her older music, the songwriting style is very similar, very like, even though it's not about her life, it's still very journalistic. It feels like it could be. So I think that kind of pulled people back, but it is crazy. I can't quite put my finger on what did this.
I think, I don't know. I think it's just, I think it's just the whole, like, 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 the wh I don't know. I almost feel like it's starting to happen again. Like people are so everything is so I can't talk oversaturated
Yeah,
with
oversaturated.
Taylor
That's the word I'm looking
that
for.
it almost feels like people are getting annoyed at something.
Mm.
It's not her fault. It's just that people know that they can make money or get likes or views if they talk about her, even if she's not even relevant to the story that they're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that a lot with like influencers that I'm like, I never heard you mention her name before the Eras Tour, and now you've been to 6 Eras Tour shows.
I know. Sometimes like this is so bad, but I have to like stop myself from talking about her so much because I almost get like mad when people talk about her. You know what I mean? Like if like on
That's
like the
my
people
underground indie artist.
yes, exactly.
Seriously.
I'm just like I don't want to talk about her with anybody because I'm like she's not yours to talk about.
I'm like, no, mind your
And I'm like,
business.
yeah, but then I have to like check myself. I'm like, relax. Like people love her. Like let it happen, kind of thing. Don't
Yeah,
you know?
but there is the fear of like, is something going to happen that's the switch is going to turn again?
Yeah, it's just the cycle of
it's crazy
being a star.
being a star. So where do you find all of your content? Because you're so quick with updates. I'm like, I don't even know how you do it. Like,
Well, usually for my setup, at least for shows, I'll have a live stream going on my laptop. And then I use my phone to go and find content so that way I can keep up with the show in real time and kind of know where things are at. But usually I will go on Twitter and literally just the show hashtag. So let's say it's like KCTS, the Eras Tour, and I'll just keep refreshing that. And there's all these videos that people are posting. Or if I can't find anything, I will just record the live stream that I'm on so that way I can like catch it.
yeah.
I do get some insiders that will send me content, but I find that the show is so chaotic and usually the reception isn't great that I don't really end up getting much from them. So I don't put all my eggs into that one basket. I just try to find multiple options so that way I'm not like completely out of
just
things.
relying on that. Yeah.
And then in terms of the high quality photos, those are all posted from Getty Images. They have like an Eras Tour gallery. They post them really fast after the show, so I just go through there and try to find them
and pull them from there. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's insane. Do you feel like your account, like, okay, assuming in the beginning we didn't know what tour was going to be like, did you think you would be doing these like minute by minute updates every night, sitting there?
No, I mean, at first I was gonna try to, because this is another thing I've never seen for any other tour before, where people were so fixated on spoilers that I had to kind of like censor myself in a way. And it only took a couple shows where I was like, this is all over the internet. It's all over people's TikTok and social media feeds. If you haven't seen it at this point, like you're under a rock. So I was like, I'm not gonna do the spoiler warnings anymore. Like, there's no point. Why would I do it if nobody else is?
Yeah. If you don't want the show to be spoiled for you, you need to just delete your
Turn
apps.
your phone off and throw it.
Just
do not go on the internet. Like, there's no way.
You need to just stay off of social media. Like it like you said, it is literally everywhere. And that's the thing that's so crazy about it. And it's funny, and I'm sure you probably get this too. Me and Emily have talked about this, about how like everyone knows you like Taylor Swift, so they always feel the need to like talk to you about like, oh, do you know she's on tour, or like these like things. I'm like, yeah, I've been 3 times. Yeah, I'm aware. It's just funny how like everyone under the sun, like my grandfather who doesn't have any social media, knows about the Eras Tour. It's just like, it is it's crazy times to be living in.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think I would be updating on every song, but I find it kind of fun. Like, you can go kind of a play-by-play of what's happening and catching different moments. I knew for sure that I wanted to get the surprise songs because those are usually the most high in demand, but there's also just other little moments that I think are really sweet, like the 22 hat being given away to fans, or her kind of intros before she does her surprise songs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. It's like a little time capsule. I can scroll back and be like, oh, this is the vibe for that night.
No, that's so true because I wish there was like times I could just scroll back and see anything about any other era. Like I just feel like everything's so online now. Like we can truly
it's just
look
so well
back.
documented. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so well documented. We can see like everything that happened all of the time.
Yeah, and like even like live streams, like it's such a cool. I remember like the first night, like opening night of the Era Store, like sitting, me and my best friend were in his car, and we had like our phones like propped up on the thing, and we're like watching it. Like, and that was the first time I'd ever watched a concert on live stream before.
Yeah,
It was just, like it's cool to that it is so well documented, and I think it's nice for people that didn't have the opportunity to get tickets and stuff. They can still feel like they were a part of it, even if they didn't get to go.
That's why I always tell people to be just really grateful to those who are streaming because it's a luxury that we've never had and people are taking the time to showcase their experience. So like who cares if they're singing or dancing? They should be. They paid to be there. I will say, okay, the opening night was crazy because the first thing that had my head spinning when we saw the overview of the schedule and it said the show was going to be over 3.5 hours, and we were like, that can't be real.
Yeah.
And it ended up being real. And then she opens with Miss Americana and the Harper Twins. No one saw that coming.
No,
not
like, no
if you would have asked me what song I thought was going to be on the Lover set list, that would have been last.
like gun to my head.
Genuinely,
she's never playing.
She's never playing
that.
And I think one of the saddest parts about that being played is that we don't get to do the Go Fight Win. Like that's like the part of the song that I remember hearing it for the first time being like, oh, this will be so fun in concert, because of course I would have assumed it to be on the set list if it was just a Lover, like it would have been on the set list at Loverfest.
I saw someone say like she should play it as a surprise song.
I saw this too.
She sings what, like the first verse or second verse or whatever. Like just play the whole thing. Even like oh, she played 7 because
she did play 7.
Yeah. Like I think we deserve it as a surprise song.
So
nice.
Did you, for the Eras Tour, did you only go to Kansas City Night 1? Is that the only show you've been to?
Yeah, I went to that one, and I have tickets for Toronto Night 6 and then Vancouver Night 3. So I'm really excited. I'm going to start ordering supplies to make my costumes. I decided because I've been to that venue, both of them before.
Okay.
I went to BC Place for the Red Tour, and I went to Rogers Center for Reputation. So I want to try to do a recreation of the outfits that I wore last time.
That's sweet. I love that.
I feel like I could do it a lot better. I think for the Red Tour, I tried to do the Ringmaster costume, but it looks so bad. I didn't have like anything red. It was like a gold jacket, and it was kind of a mess. Reputation, I did my play on the Out of the Woods bodysuit, but I did a Reputation version, so it was like black and it had all these red snakes on it and like silver glitter, and that was how Taylor found me online, because she saw my costume and requested to meet me. And I don't know, I was so surprised when I saw her out for the Eras Tour, because I was like, hey,
that looks familiar.
That's familiar. That's funny.
So I want to do like an Eras Tour version where all the snakes are the different colors of the eras. And
that's going to be iconic. I can't wait to see it. I am like hell-bent on going to the last show. So
yeah, is Vancouver still like
right
the
now?
last
Vancouver
shows as of now.
Yeah, Vancouver Night 3 is the last one so far.
If it stays that way, I'll see you there. I will be paying whatever the cost is to go.
Yeah. Oh God, I would love to go.
Well, I'm dragging you with me. So.
I'm going with my mom. I'm so excited. She's never seen Taylor live before.
My mom has never
seen.
My mom has never seen her either. So I really want to get her to a show.
I took my I didn't take I did take my mom on Mother's Day in Philly. Long story. I painted a mural in Philly for Taylor, and then the radio station.
That was so pretty.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. I did it through a radio station, and they ended up giving me and my mom tickets to go see her like on Mother's Day, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So she was really excited, and it was great. Yeah. And they were great seats.
My mom has listened to Taylor from the parking lot many a times, but she's never been in. She would drop me and my sister off.
Oh, did she play The Best Day?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. It's wild. That song is never like I've never really liked it that much. It was never a favorite of mine. But when she played it, as like I could not stop crying, bawling.
No,
Like
I would have been too.
I feel like
One
it's
of-
definitely one of those songs that grows with you over time because I feel like it
true.
resonates more. Same thing with like Never Grow Up. Like
Yes.
the older you get, the more
The
emotional
more like
it's gonna make you.
True.
yeah, my one of my friends went to that show and she brought her daughter. And their tickets got upgraded. They were at the back of the floor and somebody from Taylor Nation saw her. So in Philly, they were being really strict about not letting people stand on chairs. And so she was standing on a chair and they kept coming over and telling her to get down because she's young. She's about 10. And somebody from Taylor's team came up to them and were like, hey, we want to upgrade your tickets, like follow us. And they took them right to the freaking front row of the stage. Like they had amazing seats and they got to hear that. And it just was so sweet.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
So cute. And her like videos and stuff from that night are crazy. Like I just like of her it was just so sweet.
Not to go back to like you giving people tips and stuff, but what were some of like your tips for seat upgrades? Like, was that a thing that they were doing during the show, upgrading seats and stuff like that?
Yeah, and even before, like I saw some people who, as soon as they got into the stadium, even if like before the opening acts and they were dancing and having fun, sometimes this venue staff would go up to them and offer them a seat upgrade. I found that was kind of like the most that happened if you have that high energy before the show starts, because that's not typical of everyone else around you.
Yeah.
That's why I always recommend that people do it, because it's so easy to stand out. Like there's not a lot of people in the stadium yet, and if they are there, they're just going to be sitting or on their phones. And
Right.
True.
if you could just have as much fun as possible, then there's a really good chance that someone would see you and offer to take you down to a better view.
Yeah. It's so funny. I went to opening night. I went to like both of the first two shows, and it was like when we went there on the first night, we didn't know like what was gonna happen, if there was gonna be meet and greet. Like we didn't know anything.
No.
The way people were acting was so different than the other shows I went to. Like I really feel like people were like going hard during the Gail.
Yeah.
And like I mean, I think Gail was so much fun, but it was like
They were
seeing
waiting
people
for
and,
Andrea
like,
to walk
kinda
around and
looking
grab them.
They were like, yeah, and like
Yeah.
looking around.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. This is like actually insane.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because I remember there was this girl. I don't remember her name. I don't want to like single her out or anything, but she made a costume and she got mad that like Taylor didn't notice her or anything. But the shows are, it's a production. Everything is planned out. Like she can't be interactive in the same way that you'd see with like Harry Styles, or she's got certain beats that she has to stick to, and she doesn't really have the time.
It's just such a long show. It has to run.
Yeah.
And
She got so upset that Taylor didn't see her costume, and I'm like, but that's not why you're there.
Right.
Correct.
And that's not why we dress up. Like we do it for fun. Like we do it for us.
Yeah, you have to do it for yourself, and if
Yeah.
you do get recognized, cool. But it is a different show. It's not like shows in the past.
No.
So speaking of shows in the past, how many like shows have you been to, and like what eras and stuff like that?
I went to the Red Tour. This funny story about the Red Tour, because State of Grace is my favorite song, and that's what she opens the Red Tour with. And also because I hadn't seen Taylor live before, it was just very emotional for me. So I was like sobbing while she's playing State of Grace. And then my aunt is taking pictures of me with the flash on. I'm like, stop. I'm mortified right now.
Are you like so glad to have those pictures now though?
I think I deleted them like after she took them, because I was like, I did not want this seeing the light of day. Like,
Oh my God.
these pictures should not have been taken in the first place.
That's so funny.
I went to the 1989 tour, and this one I felt was really special because it was in an arena, not a stadium. So it just felt so much more intimate than any of the other shows I've been to. Like she was so close, and I really liked the vibe in there. I went to the Rep tour twice. I went Toronto night 1. That was the night I met her, and then the next night I went again. And that one was really cool. The night before, I asked her if she could play "Come Back, Be Here." And then the next night she did, and that was her first time playing it live.
Oh my
So if I
God.
ever have a bad day, I'm like, Taylor Swift has played "Come Back, Be Here" twice at the request of me and Phoebe Bridgers, who I adore.
Yep.
There you go.
You are
and
in the same category
I would
as
have the
Phoebe.
biggest
Yes.
ego. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, went to KC night 1 for the Eras tour, and then I'm going 2 more times. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so fun.
I know we're skipping ahead a little bit on our questions here, but
It's
can
okay.
you just like walk us through meeting Taylor?
No,
I've been
because
just
I'm
dying to ask you
so
this
sick about
the
it.
whole time. Like walk us through the very beginning, the Tumblr post, like
The whole thing. I just need the whole thing.
Give us
start
the
to
rundown.
finish, please.
Yeah. So I had made that outfit for the rep tour, and I had some mutuals who had a Taylor follow, or she had noticed them before. They were really kind, and they were reblogging my posts. But I think in the caption I was just talking about how much time it took to put the outfit together, what show it was going to, how I help people to get picked for rep room and seat upgrades. And I guess she ended up seeing it at one point because I got that DM from Taylor Nation. And I knew exactly what it meant.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I had about 3 days notice. So I wasn't...
Wow.
I had time to kind of process and figure out what I was gonna say. It was before I even got to Toronto. But I don't know. It was really... I was in shock the whole time. It didn't really hit me until I was in the rep room and I could hear Taylor talking from behind the curtain. And I was like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" I didn't cry. I wanted to make sure that... I don't know. I think I was just too in shock to actually.
I feel like I would be
cry.
too. Yeah.
I don't think I would. I don't know that I would cry. I think
I have no
I
idea
would
how I'd
probably
react.
cry after. I don't know.
I would absolutely cry after.
I wouldn't want to spend my time crying with her though.
Then again,
I'm
who
like,
knows?
pull it together.
Like,
you need to talk to her, not cry.
When she popped out of the stage on opening night, like the things that came out of me were not human. Like I wasn't ready for that, and I didn't think I was gonna cry because the whole time I was so chilled. And then she popped up, and I was like, like, so who knows? You can never predict it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I didn't end up wearing the bodysuit because I didn't want to cover her in glitter, even though I know that's something that she definitely would have been okay with. And because I'm very type A, as soon as I got out from the rep room, I just wrote down what I remembered from our conversation.
Smart.
That's so smart.
So that I wouldn't forget it. So I'll go through it.
Perfect.
Kind of see. I was like, "Hi." She's like, "Wow, you're so tall." And I said I was cheating because I was wearing heeled boots. And she's like, "Oh, I am too, but that's a major commitment to wear those for 3 hours." And I was like, "I was just wondering how you found me because I know you're super sneaky." And she's like, "On Tumblr." And I was like, "I'm mainly on Instagram. I help people to meet you." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you're Tori." Because my first name is Victoria, but I just go by my middle name.
Okay.
And then she's like, "That's so kind of you to be that sweet and dedicate yourself to helping others like that. Thank you." And I was just telling her a bit about my story and how much State of Grace meant to me and how much it got me through different things. I was like, "I know you don't do this, but I was wondering if you'd be able to write out, 'This is the worthwhile fight,' so I could get it tattooed." She's like, "I can definitely do that. Let's just get a picture first." And it was funny because I was trying to describe the post to her, and she was not getting it. And she's like, "Can you do it to me to show me because I don't get what you mean?" And I show her, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Can you do it too so I don't look creepy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we take the picture, and she's like, "Oh, now I get it."
What were you doing? What was the pose?
I was trying to do a side hug, but with a hand on the head.
Okay.
Oh,
And and then it's funny trying to describe it to her. I'm like, oh god.
She's so funny.
So then she has all these like pre-signed lithographs. So she just asked one of her people to give her a pen. She flipped over the back of the lithograph and just wrote it out. And I was like, you should play it on the B stage. And she's like, I don't know. I played it so recently. And I was like, come back, be here, sad, beautiful, tragic. You should do something from Red.
Yeah, please, I'm begging.
And then she's like, I'm glad you like that song. I love you, buddy. But yeah, it was like, even after that, it didn't stop. Like, I had the lyric written out. I got B stage barricade, and when she went between the one B stage to get to the other one, she grabbed my hand, and then after the show, she liked the rep room picture of us. And then the next night, she played "Sad Beautiful Tragic," or not, sorry, "Come Back, Be Here." And also, I was wearing the bodysuit for night 2, so she ended up seeing me and waving. And there's just like all these little things. There's an attention to detail that you don't really see with other celebrities and artists, and
her brain is
felt
crazy.
so special. Yeah,
like the way she remembered your name and was like, "Yeah, I know you from Tumblr." Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Right, because like how many different people did she meet and have that same experience? Like she just, I feel like she's very good at like remembering faces and stuff.
Yeah, also when you're talking to Taylor, she is so good with eye contact. Like I heard people talking about it, but when you go, it's so true. Like she's listening so focused
Intently
on everything that you're saying. It feels so nice.
Yeah.
It's like these are all these reasons we want to gatekeep her.
Yes.
She's
And
ours.
it's like when people talk about stuff, when people have said that about her, everyone who meets her, I feel like says that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to be better at that. I need to be good at eye contact. I need to be like need to be like her.
Yeah.
So this is probably, I think I already know the answer to this question, but what is your favorite memory as a Swiftie? Probably the story you just told, but
other than that. I mean, it could be like, something that Taylor did. It doesn't have to be like
right, or like
you
specific.
I don't know, something memorable since you've been around for so long.
I think in terms of like, okay, I'll give you one of things that Taylor has done and one that's been like a personal experience. So I think the kind of coolest point as a Swiftie was during the Reputation era. She had a period where she was so active on Instagram, like she was joining people's live streams and liking, commenting on their posts. And I felt like that was really, really fun because you never knew what to expect. I know she ended up like watching my story at one point, and it's just like, I don't know how she finds all these posts and people, but
especially because she doesn't follow anyone.
Right? It was so cool to see all my mutuals getting notices and just also all the things that she was saying. She's even like Taylor was like, "Hey, just trying to get noticed over here."
Same.
You are? Really?
So that was a lot of fun. Also, just kind of that same level of interactivity during the 1989 era. I feel like she was so in touch with everything and like Swiftmas. It was really fun.
Yeah.
In terms of like a personal memory as a Swiftie, I think just going to the Rep tour and the Eras tour and having people come up to me and talk to me about how they appreciate my account and what I do, and they I don't know, some of them were even like starstruck in a way, and it was just it was really sweet to like I don't think too much of myself, but to know that I made a positive impact on people and their Eras tour experience is really meaningful, especially when they go out of their way to tell me that in person. So
yeah,
that is so
sweet.
special. It's because it's one thing to like be on the internet and like talk to people like that, but then seeing that community in person and like people knowing who you are and like
because I feel like you've had similar experience, right?
Yeah, I've had a few. I like make TikToks sometimes. I also draw. I have like a decent an okay following. But I've had a lot of people come up to me like at the Eras tour, especially when I was on the floor, and they would just be like, oh my god, I have something you drew," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, thank you, like that's so cool." And then like
Yeah.
yeah, people would be like borderline crying, and I'm like, "No, don't do that,
Yeah.
don't do that. I'm not Taylor. What are you doing?"
Yeah,
It's
or so like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And you're like, "You
yes,
wanna get a picture with me?"
yes. Yes, that
That's so
happened many
cool.
times, and I'm like, no, it is really cool. It's cool to like the Swiftie community is just really sweet, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah, also just, like, people that you know from online, friends, and you get to
Yeah.
meet them at shows, that's so, so much fun.
Yeah.
You'll be like, "Oh, yes, you, like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're real."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It is really crazy.
Do you have any other like artists that you really love and support? Like just maybe not as much as Taylor, but also really love?
Definitely a couple. Phoebe Bridgers,
Yeah.
Billie Eilish is a big one for me. She's just one of those people where kind of in the same way I feel about Taylor, where I'm like, I don't know if I want to be you or be with you. Like, I feel like she's so funny and talented and
Yeah.
chill. Who else? I really like The Weeknd. I know that one's
Oh,
kind of
yeah?
out of left
Really?
field, but
That's funny.
Abel is one of my favorite artists.
I saw him in concert once. He was really good.
Yes, I went to the Starboy tour that he did, but I feel like seeing him live now would be a completely different experience.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
respect him so much as an artist because he doesn't do, like, any like, interviews or anything, right? He just kind of lays
No.
low, like, does nothing, and has, like, the biggest fans in the
Well,
world.
I remember because he was like the #1 streamed artist on Spotify for a
For a
while, right?
while, yeah.
And I'm like, how like I just wouldn't expect that because like you don't meet very many people that are like, I love The Weeknd. Like it's like yes, like his songs are very popular and stuff, but I feel like I'm like, yeah, it's interesting.
Big
So
respect.
it's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
I like his stuff. I always have, but I don't think I've the only person I've ever heard talk about him honestly is Trisha Paytas.
I was just gonna say Trisha
Trisha
Paytas.
Paytas is obsessed with him. And because
Yeah.
she loved he was in a show, right? Yeah,
I
and
don't
she
know.
like loved the TV show.
Yeah.
And
Oh, The
me and her both
Idol.
yes,
That
The
whole
Idol.
thing was a disaster. I don't claim him for doing that.
Well,
Oh,
Trisha
really?
Paytas
I
is
haven't
obsessed with him because of The Idol. I've never
I
seen
haven't
it. I don't know
I
anything
don't even
about
know,
it.
yeah.
I
Ugh.
just it's so funny
It's
to
a
me.
disaster? Oh, no.
Yeah, it's well, it's by the creator of Euphoria, but it's
Okay.
like I don't know, it's just very sexist and
Oh,
like
no.
vile and like
Mm.
I don't know, you just see this girl who is exploiting herself or being exploited and abused. Like
Oh.
the guy well that Abel is playing, he's like abusive and he's
Oh.
um really manipulative and coercive and I haven't watched it because
Oh,
I've just
man.
heard really bad
Just heard
things.
bad things, yeah.
Like it got canceled after one season, so I feel like that
Oh.
says everything. Like
Says
they were
yeah.
supposed to have like 8 episodes. I think it ended up being 5 because
Oh,
even those got
wow.
cut.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
yeah, the only
That's
thing that
crazy.
is good about it is the soundtrack.
Well, there you go.
Um,
Yeah, that's crazy.
trying to think if
That is
there's
so
anywhere
funny.
else. Sabrina Carpenter for
Yeah.
sure.
She's been growing on me lately. I've been listening to her
Yeah,
more and
I
more.
think the Eras tour really pulled me in,
Yeah.
and then I've been listening to Emails I Can't Send, and also just her stage presence. Like she's like a perfect pop princess,
Yes.
Mhm.
and so cute, and like the it girl. Like she
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
she's the shit when she's
Yes.
performing.
She
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cute. I always thought she was adorable. I'm like even from her like Disney Channel days.
Mm.
Oh, did you
I
see
used
the whole thing where like people got mad at her? There was like a pope who got mad because she filmed
Oh my god. Yeah.
a
I did see
video
this. Yeah.
in a church, and people were like, "Oh, like the the church is mad at a pop singer. Like, we're so back.
We're so back.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And I forget, didn't she say something like
she did. She clapped back,
like
and
Jesus
it was
was
funny.
a carpenter or something?
Yes,
It was like something like that. I was like,
yes. I was like, that's perfect.
because it's
that.
like, why are we even like?
I know.
The church obviously gave her permission to be there. Like, why?
Right.
What are you,
It's not like
it's
she's
not like
doing
she broke.
anything bad.
It's not like she
Yeah.
broke into a church and filmed a music video in it. Like, please,
vandalized it. Like, I don't know.
like, come on. There are bigger fish to fry in this world than that.
Yeah.
What
Jesus.
do you feel like is the hardest part about like having a fan account on social media and running it? And you can counter with like the most rewarding part too, if you would like.
I feel like, well, it's been very different for my previous account compared to this one, because for my last account, I think at most I had 20K.
Okay.
And TS Tour Tips is already almost at 400,000, and I've been running it for just over a year.
That's amazing.
Wow.
But pretty much since I've been running my account and having like a presence in the community, I've been getting hate for like a solid like 8 years. You get used to it for sure, but I think the thing that's been hardest with TS Tour Tips is because there's so much more of a presence that I have, or like following. I feel like there's a level of scrutiny that I'm not used to, where it's like people will read into every single thing you say, and like people are always going to have something negative to say because I'm the one saying it. Like, they want to cause problems, or like, I don't know, I've had people who they had a whole group chat just dedicated to talking shit about me, or like,
I'm not sure what there is to talk shit about.
Like, what?
Like, what is their you share Taylor updates? Like, you really don't even give your opinion on there that much.
Yeah, I think
people are so,
they just think I'm like annoying and ugly.
Okay, well, neither of those things are true, so
they're annoying and ugly. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's annoying
I
when
don't know.
they act like
I know
that,
what you mean.
so.
I think part of the reason why I feel like my account is kind of different than other update accounts is I feel like a lot of other ones, it's almost like this entity, like there's no personality to it. And that's where I wanted to shift it and be like, well, if it is my account, I want it to be
Reflect
a part of me. Yeah. So instead of having super formal captions, sometimes I'll throw in different jokes or like jabs at things, which people seem to really enjoy. But I just feel like it makes it more fun that way. I don't know, like people were getting mad that I was posting personal stories, but I'm like, they're up for a day.
Don't follow me. Like,
Right?
it's so easy to not follow me if you don't like the way that I do it. Like, there are plenty of other accounts that update. Find the one that you like.
Go somewhere else.
That's the crazy thing about the internet, is you can participate in what you want to participate in, and you can unfollow who you
it takes
don't enjoy.
too much energy to tell someone you hate them, or tell someone the reasons that you don't like what they're doing. Like, that's too much energy.
I have never understood people that feel the need. Like, I have never once seen something that I didn't like and felt the need to comment on it. You know what I do when I see something I don't like? I keep scrolling.
Right.
It's so
I don't
easy.
know.
It's so easy.
I don't know. I used to be very like hurt by it, but I learned to not take it personally. And also, a lot of them are so obsessed with everything that I do that they're basically a fan at that point. Like, you hate me, but you watch every story, everything I post. You have need to comment on it. Like,
thank you for the engagement.
Right.
Literally.
It's crazy. So I feel like we answered this kind of. It was, were you involved with the fandom before TS Tour Step? Which, yes, you were. Okay, so we have some more fun questions now. So if you could give Taylor one friendship bracelet, what would it say?
I would want to do a twist on, at the end of the Eras Tour movie where there's the like set of friendship bracelets where it's like thank you to the fans. I would want to do like one that was like directed at her instead, like thank you for your strength and your grace and bringing this whole thing to life. And just being such a good role model. I don't know what I would say exactly, but like, something in that vein.
It'd be like a friendship necklace. Mine would be wrapping around her body a million times. All the things I want to say.
You're so sweet and wholesome. Mine would simply be my phone number. Call me. I want to be your wedding photographer so bad.
Sorry, that worked once. It can't work again.
No, it can because
get an original idea.
I don't know. I saw someone who made a friendship bracelet, but it was all too well 10-minute version. It was like a whole scarf.
It's great.
Yeah, that's
like
great.
you could give her an all too well.
You just like present it like, here, put this on.
This is for you. That's so funny. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's say you have 5 minutes. You can sit down with Taylor Swift, but she can't like say anything to you. She can't respond. What are you saying to her?
I would probably say that in my life right now, I have so many important people, and all of these people are friendships that I've made as a result of you and the community that your music has created. I've been friends with these people for years now. I would probably invite them to my wedding when I get married someday. And I'm just so appreciative of the fact that you created this and have facilitated not only my own relationships with people that I really value in my life, but for so many other people too. I know so many people who became best friends because they had a common interest, which is, you and your music, and that, at this moment, there's more and more people being brought in, and that's all as a result of you. So thank you so much for helping me to meet these people that I couldn't imagine my life without.
Yeah,
that's just, if I were Taylor, like I feel like I would
She
go
would be
online
sitting
and
there
sob
crying,
like
like,
all the
for
time
sure.
hearing stories like this. Like it's like that would never get old to me.
Yeah, like that part of it, I agree with
It's
you.
so sweet.
And I would also tell her, I'd be like, I got that tattoo.
Remember this?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so you have to delete 2 Taylor albums from existence. What are they? Just 2 albums gone for good.
wiped from the internet. We've already heard them, but they're gone.
Can never listen again.
Oh man.
It's a toughie.
I'm sorry, debut.
Bye, girl.
There's so many good songs on debut. I feel like people overlook that era so much, and it always holds a special place in my heart because it's the era that I discovered her. But I feel like there's been so much growth since then.
Yes.
And especially in her vocals, that I feel like everything else just that come after, it just seems better.
Yeah.
So I would probably get rid of debut. And then the next one is hard.
That's why I threw in 2, because I was like, I know everyone would delete debut, but I want to know.
My second one is so controversial.
Speak now.
No.
Oh.
Okay, this was probably gonna surprise you.
That's my second answer. That's my second answer too.
That's my favorite album.
We have the same answer.
Wow.
I respect
it.
I would give to go back and like reorganize the track list, because I feel like it's emotional whiplash. Like I know with Red it's intentional. I saw someone on Reddit it almost looked like a dissertation in a way. Like they went they did a discography and kind of like career deep dive. Would highly recommend looking at it because it's really interesting. Like he goes through every single song, explains what they like or didn't like about it. They'll like grade it based on kind of the lyrics and all parts of it. And then later on they go into the different tours and music videos and performances and kind of go era by era. But it's interesting to see his rankings get like higher and higher the further you go. But I don't know. There's so many questions I have when it comes to Lover. I'm like, why was me the lead single? Why?
There's parts of Lover for me that I feel like she was trying to manufacture a moment a little too much. I feel like, I don't know. there are parts of Lover that come across, I don't want to say like disingenuous, but like a little.
I don't know. There's some that I like the songs, but they can kind of feel like performative, which I think of like The Man or You Need to Calm Down, where it just feels very like
this is what people want to hear.
Yes. Yeah. Like the songs are really good, but I feel like, I don't know. Songs like that, they make me question. I'm like, so Me made the track list, but all of the girls you loved before did not, and Need did not. If those two were on there, I feel like that album would have been so much higher up on my list.
I agree with you. I think there's definitely some cuts that could have been made and some things. Sometimes I feel like she like falls to the pressure of people wanting her to say something so bad that she kind of sometimes makes decisions like based around that. And that's what some of those songs feel like.
That's kind of my issue with the Lover portion of the Eras Tour set list. She like plays all of those songs where she could be playing like the other better songs.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine she did like Death by
The fact that Death by a Thousand Cuts is not on that Lover set list is criminal.
Also, why is You're on Your Own Kid not part of the Midnight?
Right.
Also, I think for that, I think it's a pacing thing because she wants like the rest of the show to be upbeat because people are tired and ready to go. That's genuinely why I think it's not on there.
Yeah.
I think she's because there's a reason it's pretty much all upbeat.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, I guess Mastermind isn't really like that upbeat.
Yeah, that's the one where I'm like, this didn't need to be here.
Yeah, I do like the performance of Mastermind though. I think the stage is really cool at that time, and I like the dancers in that moment. But I mean, that definitely could have been pulled and replaced with You're on Your Own Kid.
Whatever. I mean, speaking of the Eras Tour, since you have an account basically dedicated to the Eras Tour, I would consider you an expert on all things Eras Tour.
100%.
You know what's going on all the time. You've seen every performance multiple times. Okay, let's assume Taylor notices and she's like, Autumn, you are the Eras Tour expert. Please give me constructive criticism. What can I do in my next show? What should I do? What should I add? What should I take away? Whatever. She wants to revamp a little bit. What do you tell her?
You can't call it the Eras Tour if debut does not get a portion.
Said change the tour name. Wow.
Agreed.
I probably wouldn't say it like that, but I feel like it's a big gripe for not just me, but a lot of other people that is the only era that doesn't really get any attention.
It was
like
just freaking our song.
Yeah, one song, our song.
Tim McGraw.
I'll take it. Like,
yeah.
So that for sure. I don't know. I feel like there's some eras that almost feel a little top heavy. Like I feel like this eras sometimes can feel a little unbalanced where you see like Fearless will get 3 songs, Speak Now 1, and then you'll have some eras like Folklore and Evermore where there's just so many, which I mean I get because they are her newer albums. She hasn't performed them live before, but sometimes it just feels like it just keeps going.
I think the Evermore set drags a little.
I also would want to talk to her about the like Killer 3, which would be Champagne Problems, or Marjorie Champagne Problems, Tolerate It. Talk me through the thought process and how you thought I was supposed to survive through all of those.
No, genuinely.
Great question.
Genuinely. My biggest gripe with the Eras Tour, and I've said this on the podcast before, so if you listen, you know, but the red set, I hate.
I think, 22. We Are Never,
22, We Are Never, and
I Knew Your Trouble.
I Knew Your Trouble and Need to Be a Medley. Just put the 3 of them together. Give us State of Grace. Give us
Holy Ground.
Like literally something other than give us Red. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I just like, why did you pick the 3 songs that like I get it. They're like the biggest like radio hits from that album. Fine. And even like I wanted to hear All Too Well 10 for sure. Like very wanted to hear it live. 100%. But I feel like after this tour she should never perform that live again.
Yeah.
It's just so long. It takes up what could be so many other things.
That's what I thought too when it first happened. But I guess the one good thing, it's a really good bathroom break, or if you want to go get merch, then that would be the song to do it, because you'll come back and the song will still be playing.
That's
like
true.
Yeah.
That is when if I'm watching the live stream, I'll mute it. And I'll be like, okay, time to go do
Plus,
something else.
after that, it goes into the 7 intro, and that takes a long time too.
Yep.
So
We've got plenty of time there.
I think she could have like given the Red Set the Speak Now treatment, just done All Too Well, and then like added more songs to Speak Now. I feel like people would have been satisfied with that.
Yeah. I
don't know. I could criticize the Red Set forever, but
that's my only, and I do hate that JB's missing, but the Red Set is my biggest like, ugh, why is it like this?
Also, I did something bad. I would definitely add to the set. I just like, even if you were to shorten "Look What You Made Me Do" or something.
Yeah, I agree
for sure.
All right, so what is your favorite and least favorite Eras Tour outfit?
I think that my favorite would be definitely one of the Speak Now gowns. I think I like either the Elsa one or the cupcake wrapper one.
Yeah.
I think they're so pretty, but definitely like I have a special soft spot for the purple one, because that was debuted at my show, and also it just fits the era the best. I'm partial to the Reputation bodysuit, of course.
Yes.
But I think my least favorite, I don't really like the red.
Ooh,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Red and Evermore.
You don't like Evermore?
It's not that
the dress.
No, I don't think it's not even so much that I don't like it. It's that we see so much of it, which like okay.
I think okay.
I don't know. I just I actually like the brown Evermore dress better than the
the bronze one's cute, and then there's that whole battle of the orange versus the yellow.
Oh my god,
they look the same to me. Like I genuinely don't believe. I believe it's the same dress.
It's the lighting.
I think it's the lighting, and I think people are just like holding on.
Does that like when you're watching the live stream?
Oh,
you're trying
you
to
know what? I forgot my least favorite one is actually it's a Midnight's bodysuit, the one that's got like the ab cutouts.
Yes.
I'm like, what the hell?
I like
mine
that
too.
one.
I can't
she
stand
it. I think it's cute.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm right there with you. Every time she wears it, I'm like, Taylor.
Someone said it looked like cat nipples, and I was like, I can't unsee that now.
Maybe I like that funny. Because it debuted at MetLife Night 1 and I was there. So I'm just
I like them all because I was at opening night and they all debuted.
No, I say all the time my biggest regret in this life is not going to opening night.
Every song was a surprise song.
To be honest, the thought just never crossed my mind, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you think of that?
And why
didn't Emily tell me?
But it would stress me out not knowing what's coming next. Like,
yeah,
I feel like
the anticipation would kill me.
It did. It killed me. I walked out of there with no life left.
We're talking to a ghost right now.
No, quite literally. Oh god.
Emily's reactions to that from the first night. I was just watching her Instagram stories in tears, like laughing so hard.
Because she's coming on. I have my phone out. I'm recording myself, and I'm just like waiting for something to happen, and it's just me like dry heaving. Like, and then I'm like, I'm not processing Miss Americana, and then Cruel Summer comes on, and I'm gripping my sister who's standing next to me. And I'm like,
I also know.
Is this happening? Like what? Anyway, so crazy times. Crazy.
Speaking of surprise songs, what is your dream surprise song combo
for your next like couple shows? What are you hoping she plays?
Yeah, now that we've reset, anything's on the table.
That's everything.
Well, I definitely want State of Grace because I'm so mad that she played it literally night 2 of the tour. I'm like, you didn't even let me get my hopes up. That's so
I was there. Yeah. She's got to revisit some of the ones she played early on.
Yeah.
in terms of the other one, I don't know. I have a whole list of ones that
I also had a list,
Mm-hmm.
and I got 2 songs on my list, so I'm pretty satisfied with that.
I got no songs on my list because my list was 2 songs long.
I have 2. I have like surprise songs that would be part of my villain origin story if I'm not there to hear it. And then I have another one that's like Taylor's not allowed to play these if I'm not there.
I love
But
it.
the one for my villain origin story, I put Ivy as one. I was like, if you can forget Evermore, you can forget this song too. New Romantics was one for me. Long Live. I said, Taylor, you are legally required to wait until 7 to play this. Then I put Update. She did.
Yeah,
So that was a win.
She heard you on that one.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick one for my upcoming show, I would say The Other Side of the Door is one.
Ooh, good one. Yeah.
And I also would want Come In with the Rain. Double Fearless.
Yes.
All right. Good choices. Good choices.
I love that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that was our last question, and this was so fun.
This was really fun. Thank you for doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course. Is there anything else one final thought you want to leave everyone with?
We are going into a new year of Eras Tour shows. We're not even halfway through the tour yet, which is insane.
Crazy.
And I feel like she's probably going to add more dates because she is unhinged. And,
that she is.
Just if you are going, I hope you have the best time possible. And if you don't have tickets, I hope that you get the chance to get tickets. It was rare. You might be there. And I hope you remember it all too well.
Wow.
Agreed.
That was perfect.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah, if you don't follow Autumn already, you should.
Yes.
Tour Tips. Did you update on Twitter also or anywhere else?
I lurk on Twitter.
Okay,
That's usually where I get my updates from. I used to be on TikTok. It's the same username as my Instagram, but I don't know. I found like Swift Talk, sometimes it can be really intense and like toxic, and
sister.
I just needed a bit of break. Like people were getting death threats for doing song and album rankings, and like it's not that serious.
It was never that serious. I feel like a lot of the younger fans are on TikTok, and they're scary. I'm scared of them.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm wondering is like her fan base now. How many of it is just people bandwagoning because she's popular right now, and they're like, "Oh, let's do that."
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So find her on Instagram.
Yeah.
For all of your tour update needs.
We'll have her linked in the show notes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Not that you need us to link you. They already all probably follow you. But yeah, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.